Here's how I got 1000 subscribers with just 8 videos in only 30 days. And the stupid mistake that lost me 2000 subs in that same month. At the end, I will also tell you 2 methods that I wish I knew before I got monetized, including the one that most surprised me, because it's kind of strange yet incredibly effective. But first, I want to be honest, I got 1000 subscribers with just 7 videos, because I don't count the YouTube short. Got 0 subscribers. But I made some big mistakes because back then my subscribe ratio was bad, really bad. I only got 500 subs from this video with 80,000 views. That's only a sub ratio of 0.6%. Fortunately, I learned what not to do since then and what to do to get sub ratios of over 2%. For example, this recent video got me a sub ratio of 2.27% so far, which may raise the question, like how the hell did I go from 0.5% to over 2% sub ratios? Effectively getting 4 to 5 times more subscribers, meaning that you don't need 250,000 views to get 1000 subs, but only 50,000 views to get monetized. Also know that my insane click-through rates of sometimes 20% played a big role. So download my free thumbnail templates that I created after designing over 1000 thumbnails. So you can create thumbnails like this, and this in minutes for free. Click the link below to download it at the end of the video. But first, I just spent hours studying my best and worst videos from a sub ratio perspective in hopes that I can get to 3% sub ratio soon. Now you may ask, why the hell do you care about getting 3% sub ratios if you're already monetized? Well, for so many reasons. I mean, a higher sub ratio is one of the best indicators of a quality video, quality audience, future income, and trust. And that last one is so hard to measure, but it's more important than ever. I mean, people call it the trust economy for a reason. Right. But I trust fewer creators than ever. Some reasons are because they're using AI. For the most part, because they're regurgitating BS. And I care about truth. And the truth is that a higher sub ratio to most channels means the following. Your future videos will get a higher baseline view count. For example, if you have 100 subs, you get 5 views in the first 24 hours. But if you have 10,000 subs, you get 500 views within the first day. To make this more clear, if you can increase your sub ratio and thus get more subscribers, you could go from 45 views per video to consistently minimum of 5,000 views per video. Now there are 4 more reasons why I care about increasing my sub ratios, but I saved those for later. I just want to share the key insights that I got after increasing my sub ratios from 0.4% to over 2%. The first consistent pattern that I found amongst my lowest sub ratio videos. They all had one thing in common. I was using a famous person in the title, thumbnail, often also throughout the video. I was basically giving commentary, like reacting, almost like analyzing someone else. And while those videos often did good from a views perspective, as you can see here, they didn't build much connection with me, the creator. Even though I showed my face, they didn't position me as a source of value, just a middleman, a drop shipper with an opinion. And it makes sense, right? Viewers came for the famous person, not for me. So when the video ends, most of them leave. Few subscribe because they got what they came for, it wasn't me. Now to be clear, I'm not saying you should never use famous people. In fact, if you run a faceless channel, or at least not a personal brand like me, then famous people can get you views like this. But if you have a personal brand like me and still want more views, then what you can do is actually use authorities within your space, but just use many of them in support of your message. Like giving evidence or proof or their opinion within your video, but just many people. And don't make them the main character if you care about 2% sub ratios rather than 5 times less. Which brings me to the most surprising yet incredibly effective way that I got my highest sub ratios. Because here it is, a consistent pattern that I found amongst my top 30 sub ratio videos was that I used scientific studies, real experiments, data, evidence, proof, truth. And I didn't just quote them. I didn't just put it there. I actually read the research. I wanted to understand it and I understood the full context and then I explained it in the video like a human. And I think people notice that. Because when you take the time to understand something deeply and then you translate it clearly because you understand it actually, then it shows the viewer, oh, hey, this guy isn't just here for the clicks. He actually understands it. He cares about truth. And I think that's rare, at least in my experience. So yeah. Turns out the most effective ways to grow your subscribers on YouTube is to actually care, to do your homework, to stand for truth and use scientific studies or proof, truth. That's what got me from 0.4% to over 2% sub ratios and now aiming for 3%. Because in the long run, trust compounds. And I think subscriber ratios are a very close reflection of that. Now, if you care about truth and truthful YouTube advice, then you may read my free emails. You receive them when you get my free thumbnail pack or a Google Sheet with over 70 free YouTube tools that are all unsponsored, not affiliated. Just a list of free tools that I wish I had before my business had actually $5 million in costs, because I would have saved some money by using them. and ditching some paid tools. YouTube setting that I wish someone warned me about. It is this setting. I lost a lot of views and money because of it. I talk about it in this video. I honestly think it's one of my best videos. See you there or in my emails. In my emails I share how I got like this gift from Google, which I'm sure you want as well. But also YouTube secrets like this where you can change your face for a Studio Ghibli variant in your thumbnail and get a higher click-through rate. So see you there. Ciao bella.